Have you ever contemplated unconditional love or thought about the meaning behind what unconditional love actually is? Well, I drew this card this month, Love for All, and this was the first thing that came to mind for me was the difference between unconditional love and conditional love, what it means to experience love and also to give love, and all of the things that come with that. Love is really the pinnacle of spiritual teachings across many, many, many different traditions. And our ability to love is probably the most important barometer of the spiritual journey and our spiritual path, if this is one that you're on. And when we're speaking about unconditional or conditional love, unconditional love being that barometer of the spiritual path, conditional really means that our joy and our love is dependent on certain terms. Something good versus bad, some judgment around it. We generally will use if statements. I love camping if the weather's good. I don't love camping when it's pouring rain and cold, right? We say, I love camping, I love camping. Do you really? Is this an unconditional thing? This is a silly example, but you know me and my silly examples. It helps frame a reference point. Unconditional love, on the other hand, is steadfast. It's in alignment with Source and the divine. Think of a parent unconditionally loving a child. The goal here is to experience and see unconditional love in all things that we do is the goal, of course. Is that humanly possible? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say no because we're humans having a human experience, and there's going to be things that challenge us and things that we dislike. It doesn't mean we can't look at those things, though, from a lens of unconditional love to really question our own beliefs and our own perspectives around the thing. Unconditional love really means you don't need anything from another person. You're generally free from attachments, and you are in service of, it's Dharma, this concept of Dharma that I continue to talk about, our soul's purpose, the way that we serve and the way that we show love. And the gift of love to another person is not just for their benefit, it's also for our own, because love for all, love is all. When we give love, we bathe in that love as well. It also lifts us up. Think about any time that you have shared love with somebody. In fact, I would love to do a little experiment with you right now. I invite you to think of a time where you have felt that unconditional love. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind was the birth of my first daughter, and just the epitome of joy and love. And my DNA changed that day. Everything shifted. Becoming a mother was and continues to be one of the greatest joys of my life. So I invite you to think of something that brings you so much unconditional love in your definition of it. What does that feel like? Just notice in your body, notice any sensations, notice any memories, if there's a smile on your face, if there's a warmth in your heart. Now I invite you to think about somebody that actually really challenges you in life, or somebody that's done you wrong. Somebody, maybe it's an old boss or an ex. Bring that person to mind. Notice how your energy shifted. What is it about this person, thing, event that you dislike, that you do not love? And now with this thing in mind, how can you zoom out enough to send that person, thing, event your unconditional love? How can you zoom out and see from a different perspective that this person, let's just say it's a person, is suffering, Maybe this person was acting out of grief or sadness. Maybe this person is lost in life. And although they have done you harm, it was not intentional. Perhaps this thing that they have done to you was somehow for you, because it forced you to make a decision in your life that altered the course of your future. When we allow ourselves to really sit in the things that we feel and contemplate them for what they are, instead of attaching them to some sort of judgment of our mind, especially when it's our mind that has construed the judgment in the first place, it allows us to see things from a much higher perspective, from a much more loving perspective. And is that not the intention? To feel love and joy and appreciation for all of the things in our life, good and bad. I'm making air quotes here, good and bad, because what is good and bad? And so the ability to unconditionally love all beings is the peak. The ability to unconditionally love all beings, all things, all circumstances in our lives, or to see at minimum from that perspective. Maybe we don't feel it right away. Maybe it takes some inner work. But this is truly the peak of the spiritual path. Mother Teresa said, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love." And Gandhi said, "In doing something, do it with love or never do it at all." And my own mother has always said, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And that, I'm sure you've heard that from your mother at some point as well. All of this is just an important reminder of what our purpose really is here. Our dharma in life is to be in our joy. That doesn't mean to neglect or challenging emotions, or even anger, guilt, shame, or hate. That's all important work as well. But it's to see it through a lens of unconditional love at some point. So it's not the thing that is running your life. Let it be love. Love for all.